Hey, so we're back at it again. We had a couple great things happen in the business, and now we're back again to give you part number 4 of marketing results. What you need to do to make sure that your marketing dollars are actually being put to work and to good use. We've covered in the last 3 videos. You might want to go back to them and take a see of what was said in those videos. First thing that we covered was to figure out what foundation you want to set up and how your marketing is going to work. So depending on your foundation, it's going to be the strength of your marketing return, right? And then also, after the foundation is set up, what service are you going to offer and how are you going to offer it? Okay, so that was video number 2. Number 3 is your investment. Trying to figure out how much money you have that's not gonna hurt your pocket for you to run your advertising, right? And lastly, we want to review everything that's happened and figure out what the expected versus the real results were. Okay, so we have our foundation where we built a platform to go ahead and start doing our marketing. All this development might have cost us, say, $5,000, right? A good example is if you're looking to make $50,000 a year for a new business, at least you will have to spend about 10% of that money in advertising. So if you're looking to make $50,000, your new business, at least $5,000 is what is going to be needed to be spent for the first year. Now that could be used in different forms, but at the end of the day, you're at least going to spend that kind of money. Once a business is established, then that cost might go down. If you're looking to grow that business, then that budget will need to come up a little bit. So what were our expected and our real results? This makes a big difference because in step number 2 we talked about what service you're gonna offer, and this really tells you how impactful the offering of that service was. So you can have 2 different services for cleaning, correct? And we went over it in video number 2. But say you're offering one-time cleaning for $75. That's gonna cost you, say, whatever, depending on your marketing, might cost you $40 to get that one call. Or you might offer house cleaning 6-month contract. So now that's $600 and it costs you $40 to get that phone call. So now you've actually put a little money in your pocket. So how you present the terms of your sale make a big difference, and that's gonna show up in your expected in your real results. So for example, if we started right off the bat and we determined that that was the service, it's gonna be $75 for house cleaning, that was it, it was gonna cost us $40. So now we have a real number of $30 profit from that one call, right? But when we started it, we said we're gonna spend $100 to advertise the service, and we want it to give us $1,000 in return, right? So that's gonna be 10% of whatever the marketing is, and we spent $100, but that only brings us one phone call. Then your expected results when you started is totally different from the real results. Sometimes you put $100 and $100 is not enough to get one person to call you, and you end up with 0 results, right? And at this point, most of my clients kind of get turned off by it, and they say it doesn't make sense for them to do this. It doesn't work. And when you come to my office, I try to explain to them that, hey, you have to know what your service is. You have to kind of figure out how you're gonna make your money back. There's sometimes a business owner will describe their business plan to me as far as their pricing structure and their model for them to generate income, and it's hard for it to make sense and for the numbers to pencil out. And I try to explain to them that it's not gonna work. Like it's gonna be really hard for them to make that work, and they still want to move forward with it. I had a client who I had their advertising at a minimal cost, just so we could get some results and see where we're at as far as spending, so we don't overspend. And they were in a real rush. They were rushing. They wanted to see a lot of sales, and they wanted to compete against big companies. And I told them, you cannot compete against large companies. You don't have the foundation to do so, and the brand recognition to be able to close these sales, right? But they were insistent in spending more to see if they could get better results. Well, I changed their pricing structure in their ads for them to do so, and at the end of the day, there was no real difference in their real results. As far as their expected results were way too high, and we didn't have enough data to have an assessment of what their real results were going to be. So this is why I say, when you plan out your investment, in video number 3, you have to figure out how long it's going to take for you to get some data back for your company, for your business, and create advertising that's going to work and have the foundation here in such a way that there aren't any glitches or errors in the whole marketing funnel that you have, right? So all these things take a little bit of time for your specific business, for your industry, to find out what works and what doesn't. Now, if you expect results on that first month, right, that's going to be difficult because you haven't been tested and it's a new market for you and you're not sure what's going to work. You have to try it out and figure out if it's going to work and how that's going to work and what your income's going to be, what your general sale is going to be. Maybe you start a business that's starting off, that price might be too low, and once you actually deliver the service, then you have to reprice your service. Also, you might have a pricing structure that works when you pass out business cards, but when you move to another market, right, that pricing might be too low because the cost to get a call from that market might be much higher than what you're normally used to. So you have to readjust depending on what market you're at and what you're selling. Okay, so again, you want to adjust your expected results versus your real results, and once this is done, you repeat the process again. What your foundation is, what your service is, what your investment is, and go through the steps one by one until you start seeing results from what you're doing. Great. All right, so that concludes our 4-part series on marketing results. If you guys have any questions, commentaries, let me know. Also subscribe to my page, hit a like, and you can follow some of the great videos that I'm bound to produce. So talk to you soon. Have a great day.